Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now today we have some really good information for Chrono Odyssey, upcoming brand new MMORPG. Now, they was basically finally the developers at Chrono Studios has done their first developer interview. Now, the reason why I say finally is because there's been so much misinformation going around the internet, on Reddit, on in the Discord forums, everywhere, you name it. And because I'm one of the lucky people that has actually played this game already, it's been very interesting, to see the hype. I mean, I've been glad to see the hype buzzing around the internet, but it's been pretty frustrating at the same time because obviously I haven't been able to correct the misinformation because, of course, I am under NDA and I'm still under NDA. But we have a lot of information that I can obviously now talk about. So what I'm going to do is that the developer interview is about 20 odd minutes. So I will break this down for you guys and girls. And as always, I will link you the full video in the description box down below. So when you do have another spare 20 minutes or so, I highly recommend you go and watch that. But anyway, before we get into this, don't forget to smash the like button if you're hyped. Leave me a comment down below. And of course, subscribe to my channel because I will be having plenty of Chrono Odyssey videos coming very soon, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, let's get into it. So during this developer interview, they basically sat down and they were discussing, the vision for the game for Chrono Odyssey, what it's going to be. And I want to just remind you guys and girls that what they were talking about is just what's going to be seen in the closed beta test. They're not talking about, end game and every single feature that is going to be in this game. So I don't want people to get confused and think, oh, so this is the whole game. No, this is what we're going to be able to see and get your hands on with in the closed beta test. Now, they did confirm that this is going to be the first closed beta. So obviously, as you guys and girls may or may not know, we're going to only have 3 classes on this occasion. So, and this is only PC. So with that being said, and now, now that they've confirmed that this is definitely going to be the first one, that would mean that you would assume in the next one, we'll get access to more of the classes. And also hopefully for my console people, hopefully they'll be able to do the console playtest with crossplay to make sure that's working, fine. So they want to have overall progression and they want it to be, just as enjoyable as endgame content. This is a completely seamless open world MMORPG, so there is no loading screens. Now, they took inspiration from Chrono Trigger, hence the name, Chrono Odyssey and the time theme. He wanted to invoke a sense of, darkness and dread and cosmic horror vibes of Prometheus, and also similar threat to humanity, similar to StarCraft, the Zergs in StarCraft. And what sets Chrono apart? So they were saying that there's a variety of content that you can play to reach endgame. You're not just limited to the MSQ, the main story quests. And in fact, they actually advise you to not stick to the MSQ only. They want you to explore the world, find stuff, take it at your own pace, look around. And they also, crafting is a very big part of this game as well. And you can actually get to max level from purely just exploration, crafting, life skilling. You don't even need to do any combat if you don't want to. If that's not your thing and you just you enjoy crafting, you enjoy life skills, you can get to max level that way. So don't worry about it. And they also want to move away from the traditional MMORPGs. Now, I know this is going to, some people are going to really, a mass majority of players are going to really love what they're doing with Chrono Odyssey. And then there is going to be obviously a smaller percentage of players that are really not going to like this. So basically, what do I mean by that? So this game is not going to have a strict traditional Trinity system. So each class is going to have hybrid capabilities. is, again, this is not going to have large scale siege battles. So there has been stuff floating around that we're going to have mass scale large PvP. But yeah, they've confirmed it now, so I can say it. There's not going to be large scale mass PvP. It's going to have a distinct PvEVP system. And they've built this more for like the smaller scale play. So at max level, you know, you're going to be encouraged to do mostly like 5-man parties. There's going to be obviously there's a variety of weapons, so it's not just like a fixed class role. They want you to be able to, if you're going to sort of be more of a healer / tank, they don't want you to be able to struggle. If you want to play solo, you're going to be able to get through the content without having, you know, major problems. Because in a lot of games, if you are a healer or a tank, you do struggle. It's not as easy to do some stuff solo. Now, weapon swapping is very useful. You need to be swapping your weapons, guys. Think of it like in New World, you have 2 weapons and you swap between the weapons. So it's not, you don't want to just like main one weapon, basically, put it that way. So there's going to also be an elite boss right at the beginning of the game, which, guys, you need to basically learn about the weapon swapping, learn about the combat mechanics, because if you're just going to want to just use one weapon, you're going to have a hard time. So it's going to be more about skill, basically. And with that being said, of course, it's action combat. So it's not going to have like 30 skills on your hotbar. It's going to be less skills, but they're going to have multiple functions. Now, they have confirmed now, definitely confirmed, that there's 3 weapons per class. There's going to be single player content. So we're going to have chrono gates and trials. Then for the party-based content, we're going to have expedition dungeons and region bosses, so aka world bosses. For the other single player content, there's going to be what they're calling trials. And trials is where you're going to solve puzzles, there's going to be traps, and there's going to be randomized mechanics. So it's not going to make each playthrough should be slightly different. It's not going to be the same stuff over and over again. And talking about the chrono gates, you're going to be basically facing off against powerful void apostles, where it's going to be pretty challenging, but there's going to be high value rewards. The expedition dungeons is going to be for 3-player parties, and each player is going to have like a unique role, basically. So it's going to be like more focused on a co-op experience with tactical elements. Now, the region bosses is self-explanatory. It's an open world boss. So obviously there's going to be multiple parties. You're going to get unique equipment, and it's going to be linked to the game's lore as well. Exploration and adventure. We're going to have Labyrinth, which is filled with puzzles, special treasures, and then we're going to have what they're calling time portals, where you step into the past to gather rare materials. And then there is bounty hunting, which is designed to not only obviously fight and find, you know, enemies in the open world, but they want you to use bounty hunting to also go out and explore this open world, this huge, lovely open world. Now, how do you progress your character? So you can progress in multiple ways by doing obviously dungeons, fighting bosses, killing mobs, or you can do it by crafting and gathering. And then we have enhancements to upgrade your gear, which you're going to get from materials, which will be either from combat, exploration, and also gathering. So like I said, they want you to play this game pretty much how you want. There's no like one way to play this game. So it's not like just MSQ, 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 like in many other MMORPGs. It's a mixture. It's like a hybrid of a sandbox slash, you know, theme park in a way. Now, they did mention the roadmap. So it's not really a roadmap per se, but we're going to have obviously the closed beta test in June, and they want to gather as much feedback as they can to improve the game. And then they want to focus on the multiplayer experience within this closed beta test. So the goal is to have, like I said, no wrong way to progress. You play how you want, and they want to see how players are liking that and getting on with that. Now, going forward, They're going to be adding new regions centered around the themes of time and space. They're going to be aiming to move away from the usual structure of you have to clear one area to then move to the next. And they're not going to be leaving this game. Like they said they don't want to they're not going to release this game and then just leave it. They plan to be obviously continuously working on this, growing the game and involving it alongside us, you know, the community and the player base. And of course, they're also going to be adding more classes down the line, more weapons and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, it's really, we're very, very close. We are so close now to the closed beta test. Hype is real. I'm excited for you guys and girls to finally get your own hands on the game. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Like I said, leave me a comment down below and I'll catch you very, very soon with much more Chrono Odyssey coming to the channel. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Peace.